Okay, so yesterday we studied about distance and displacement. Distance is the total path length traveled by a moving object, whereas displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. Okay, and it is a vector quantity. So its direction is from initial to the final position. So the direction of the displacement is from initial to the final position, and it's a vector quantity. Okay, now let's study some characteristics of displacement. Okay, we'll study the characteristics and then you can write the differences also. Okay, differences also along with this we'll study. Okay, write the first characteristic. Write the first one. Write down displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity, whereas distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity and distance is a scalar quantity. Okay, write the second characteristic. The displacement may be positive, negative. The displacement may be positive or negative. Displacement may be positive or negative, whereas distance traveled is always positive. Whereas distance traveled is always positive. Okay, now let's see how the displacement is positive. Let a body starts from A, reaches a point B, traveling 60 kilometers, and it turns back and comes to a point C, traveling 20 kilometers. So in this case, what is the distance traveled? Is the total path length, that is 60 plus 20, 80 kilometers. Whereas the magnitude of displacement, okay, here we are talking about the magnitude. Okay, so the magnitude of the displacement is, this is the initial position and C is the final position. A is the initial and C is the final position. So the shortest distance is always a straight line. Okay, so the shortest distance between the initial and the final position, how much is it? 60 minus 20, it is 40 kilometers. Okay, now the displacement is, yes, any doubt? The displacement is directed from initial to the final position. The displacement is directed from initial to the final position. Now, according to the sign convention, towards right, that is towards positive axis, we take it to be positive. So this displacement 40 kilometers will be taken as positive. Okay, magnitude of the displacement is 40 kilometers, and as it is pointing along positive x-axis, so this displacement will be considered as positive. Okay, so this is the example for positive displacement. Okay, now the displacement can also be negative. Let's see when is the displacement negative. Okay, the same body, we consider that starts from point A to the B, traveling a distance of 60 kilometers. It turns back and reaches a point C, traveling 80 kilometers. Okay, A to B, it travels 60 kilometers. Immediately it turns back and reaches a point C, covering 80 kilometers. So what is the distance in this case? Distance is equal to 80 plus 60, that is 140 kilometers. Okay, where is the displacement? This is the initial position and C is the final position. The displacement, magnitude of the displacement is 80 minus 60, that is 20 kilometers. Okay, so here the displacement is 20 kilometers is its magnitude. But as it is directed towards left from initial to the final position, so it is directed towards left. So this displacement that is acting along minus x-axis. So this displacement will be taken as negative. So the displacement may be positive or negative. Positive displacement, we know that the direction of the displacement is from initial to the final position. According to the sign convention, if it is directed towards right, towards positive x-axis, this displacement will be taken as positive. And if the initial to the final position is directed towards left, then that displacement will be taken as negative. Okay, so the displacement can be positive or negative, whereas the distance traveled is always positive. The distance traveled by an object is always positive, whereas the displacement, okay, the sign convention here we are using is if it is traveling towards right, that is, if the direction of the displacement is towards right, then we'll consider it to be positive. And if the direction of the displacement is towards left, that is, initial to the final position is towards left, then we'll consider it to be negative. Okay, so the displacement can be positive or negative. Next characteristics, write down. The displacement can be equal to 0. The displacement can be equal to 0, whereas the distance traveled is never equal to 0. Whereas the distance traveled is never equal to 0. Okay, the displacement can be 0, whereas the distance traveled can never be equal to 0. Okay, when is the displacement 0? If the body returns back to its initial position. Okay, when the body returns back to its initial position, okay, there is the initial position and the final position, both are the same. So the displacement will be 0. So write down, when the body returns back to its initial position, when the body returns back to its initial position, the displacement is 0. Okay, let us consider a body travels from A to B and immediately it returns back from B to A. It travels from A to B and B to A. So the initial position is A, final position is also A. Initial as well as the final position, both are the same. So here in this case, the displacement is equal to 0. So whenever, for example, a body moving in a circular path, starting from point A, completes one circle. It completes one circle and returns back to the point A, then also the displacement is equal to 0. So whenever the initial and the final positions are the same, then the displacement is equal to 0. So the displacement can be 0, whereas the distance is never equal to 0. Because if the body is moving, with the time it is traveling some path length, it is covering some path length. So the distance traveled can never be equal to 0. Okay, written. Then write the next characteristic. Okay, you can give this example. Goes from A to B, returns back from B to A. So the initial and the final position are the same and hence the displacement is 0. Okay, write the next characteristic. Write down. The displacement does not show the path traveled by the object. Okay, does not show the path along which the body is traveling. Okay, the displacement does not show the path along which the body is traveling. Okay, so it does not give the information about the path along which path it is traveling. For example, it is given that the displacement is 30 kilometers. Okay, it's given that this is the initial position, this is the final position. So the magnitude of the displacement is 30 kilometers. Okay, can we know the path from this displacement? The body might have traveled in a straight line from A to B. The body might have traveled along the semicircular path. Then also this is the initial position, this is the final position. The displacement will be 30 kilometers. The body might have traveled along this curved path. Okay, so this is the initial, this is the final position. So if we know the displacement, we cannot predict the path along which the body has traveled. Okay, so this displacement is not giving the actual path along which the body has traveled. Okay, only we know that this is the displacement. The body might have traveled along this path, straight line, any path it might have traveled. So the displacement, if we know the displacement, we don't know what is the actual path traveled by the moving object. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics of the displacement. Okay, next we proceed to speed and velocity. Okay, next is speed and velocity. So first write down speed. We know that. Okay, everyone knows the definition. Hurry up, write down. Speed is defined as, everyone knows, distance traveled per unit time. So distance upon time taken, we call it as speed. So speed is defined as distance traveled per unit time. Okay, SI unit, any physical quantity we study, SI unit, meter per second. Dimension, L upon T. So m raised to the power 0, L, T raised to the power minus 1. Okay, then nature of the quantity, as distance, time, both are scalar. So it is a scalar quantity, that is, it has got only magnitude, no direction. So speed is a scalar quantity. Okay, so speed, distance traveled per unit time. So the formula will be distance upon time. Okay, whereas velocity? Velocity is defined as displacement per unit time. Or you can say that velocity is speed with direction. Velocity, it is defined as displacement per unit time. Displacement upon time, we call it as velocity, or you can define it as it is speed with direction. Speed with direction, we call it as velocity. So it is displacement per unit time. SI unit will be the same as that of speed, that is meter per second, and the dimension is also the same, LT raised to the power minus 1, but it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Okay, so speed is distance per unit time. Unit is meter per second. This is the SI unit. Okay, other practical units are also taken, like kilometer per hour, centimeter per second. Okay, some practical units are there, but here we'll discuss only the SI unit. Dimension is LT raised to the power minus 1. I think everyone knows how to find out the dimension. Distance, L upon capital T. For time, we denote it by capital T. So L upon T, LT raised to the power minus 1. And it is a scalar quantity, whereas velocity is displacement per unit time. The unit is the same, meter per second, and the dimension is LT minus 1, and it is a vector quantity. Okay, now here we'll discuss some types of speed. Okay, the speed may be uniform, it may be non-uniform, Okay, and if it is non-uniform, we calculate the average speed. Okay, so before proceeding that, uniform and non-uniform motion, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, uniform speed when the motion is uniform. So better we'll study what is uniform motion. What do you mean by uniform motion? If the body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay, when the body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, the motion is said to be uniform. And non-uniform motion, if the body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Okay, then it is said to be non-uniform motion. Okay, now here we'll study some types of speeds. The first one is uniform speed. Uniform speed means constant speed. If the body is traveling with a constant speed, suppose a car is traveling with 20 kilometer per hour. After 10 seconds, its speed is 20 kilometer per hour only, 20 kilometer per hour. After 20 seconds, after 30 seconds, after 50 seconds, the speed is constant. So such a speed we call it as uniform speed. That is, the body is traveling with a constant speed. And when will be the speed constant? When the motion is uniform. That is, when the body is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Its speed will be constant, and such a speed we call it as uniform speed. Speed is constant means with the time the speed is not changing. So write down uniform speed. When the body is in uniform motion, when the body is in uniform motion, that is covers equal distances, that is covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. So its speed is constant. So its speed is constant. Okay, next is non-uniform or variable speed. Okay, variable speed means the speed is not constant. Like at this particular moment, let the speed is 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, and after 10 seconds, its speed becomes 30 kilometer per hour. Then after 20 seconds, its speed becomes 10 kilometer per hour. So the speed is varying with the time. Such a speed, we call it as variable speed, or it is called as non-uniform speed. And when will be the speed non-uniform? When the motion is non-uniform. Non-uniform motion means unequal distances in equal intervals of time. So write down non-uniform or variable speed. Write down when the body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Its speed is not constant. Its speed is not constant. Okay, and the motion is non-uniform. Which type of motion? It will be non-uniform motion, and the motion is non-uniform. Okay, any example of non-uniform speed? A car moving on a busy road. Okay, when there is a heavy traffic, its speed will be lowered. Okay, and when some space is there, then it will move with a faster speed. So the speed will be non-uniform when a car is moving on a busy road. Its speed will be non-uniform. Okay, also a train moving from one station to the other, the speed will be non-uniform. Why? Because in between so many stations are coming, its speed is decreasing, then it stops for some time, and then again when it starts, its speed increases. So the speed is non-uniform for a train moving between two stations. Okay, now whenever the speed is non-uniform, we calculate its average speed. We calculate its average speed. Okay, when is it calculated? When the speed is non-uniform. And this average speed is defined as the total distance traveled upon total time taken. Total distance traveled upon total time taken. This we call it as average speed. Okay, so average speed is defined as total distance upon total time and is calculated whenever the speed is non-uniform. Okay, now, yes, now for let's take an example. A train moving from Kota to Delhi. Let the distance is 500 kilometers and let the time taken is 5 hours. So the average speed will be 500 kilometers upon 5 hours. That is, it is equal to 100 kilometer per hour. So when do we calculate its average speed? Whenever the speed is not uniform. A train which is moving from Kota to Delhi. Okay, obviously its speed is not uniform, variable speed. Let the distance between Kota to Delhi is 500 kilometers and let the train is taking 5 hours. In between it is stopping also. Its speed is increasing, speed is decreasing. Okay, so but the total time taken from Kota to Delhi is 5 hours and the total distance is 500. So we calculate its average speed. Okay, then the next is instantaneous speed. The fourth type of speed is instantaneous speed. Okay, instantaneous means at a particular instant of time. If we calculate the speed, that is called as the instantaneous speed. Okay, at a particular moment. If we calculate the speed, that is called as instantaneous speed. So write down, it is the speed at a particular instant of time. The speed at a particular instant of time. Okay, and in the vehicles, it is measured by a device which is called as speedometer. Okay, right at this particular moment, what is the speed of your vehicle? Okay, after 10 seconds, it will show some other. So that speed which is at a particular instant of time, that we call it as the instantaneous speed. And write down, in vehicles, it is measured by, speedometer. In vehicles, it is measured by speedometer. Okay, now instantaneous speed is, how do we measure it? Let in time interval delta t, the distance traveled is delta x. Okay, but at a particular moment here we are finding out, at a particular instant, that is the time interval is very, very short. How much short? In the limit delta t is tending to 0. This time at a particular instant we are finding out, that is the time interval is very, very short. How much short? Delta t tending to 0, limit delta t, and this we write it as dx upon dt, and we have done the questions in differentiation also. So this dx upon dt is the measure of instantaneous speed. Okay, so whatever speed we have calculated in differentiation, that was the instantaneous speed at a particular instant of time. That is, the time interval is very, very short. How much short? Limit delta t tending to 0. And we know that this expression, whenever the numerator delta t tending to 0, we write it as dx by dt. So this is the instantaneous speed. That is the differentiation of the distance with respect to time. Dx upon dt is the instantaneous speed. Okay, is it clear? Okay, next we proceed to types of velocities. Write down types of velocities. The first one is uniform velocity. Okay, now we know that velocity is speed with the direction. In order that the velocity should be constant, uniform means it should be constant velocity. In order that the velocity to be constant, the speed should be constant, and that it should keep on moving in the same direction. It should not change its direction. Okay, speed should be constant and the direction should also be the same. Then we say that the velocity is constant, and such a velocity we call it as uniform velocity. So as we know that velocity is speed with direction, so the speed should be constant and the direction should also be the same. So write down uniform velocity. The speed is constant and the direction is the same. That is, direction does not change and the direction is the same. Okay, of which body? Of a moving body. So the speed is constant and the direction is same. That is, if it is not changing its direction, it means it's moving in a straight line. Okay, so uniform velocity, we can also define it as a body moving with a uniform speed in a straight line. Direction is not changing, it means it is moving in a straight line. So write down body moving with a uniform speed in a straight line. Body moving with a uniform speed in a straight line. Okay, non-uniform or variable velocity. Again, we know that velocity is speed with the direction. Either the speed is changing or the direction is changing, or maybe both are changing. Speed and direction both are changing. Then the velocity is not constant, and such a velocity we call it as non-uniform velocity. So write down, if the speed changes, or direction changes, or both changes, then the velocity is non-uniform. For example, a particle is moving in a circular path with a constant speed. Okay, a particle is moving in a circular path with a constant speed. Though the speed is constant, but at every point the direction is changing, and direction we draw it by drawing a tangent at that point. At every point the direction of motion is changing. Okay, though the speed is constant, but still as the direction is changing, so it is non-uniform velocity. So write down example, particle moving in a circular path with a constant speed. Particle moving in a circular path with a constant speed. Okay, then the next is average velocity. Okay, whenever the velocity is not constant, we calculate its average velocity, which is defined as total displacement upon total time. Total displacement upon total time. Okay, so the average velocity can be equal to 0. Why it can be equal to 0? If the body returns back to its initial position, the displacement will be 0. So the average velocity can be 0. But the average speed can never be equal to 0. Why? Because it is total distance upon total time. So average velocity is given by total displacement upon total time. Write this formula. And instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity. Okay, the rate of change of displacement with time when the time interval is very short. This dx upon dt, we call it as instantaneous velocity. Here x is the displacement. And when we defined instantaneous speed, x was the distance. So instantaneous velocity is dx upon dt, that is d by dt of displacement. So dx upon dt, we call it as instantaneous velocity. Okay, written. Now you will write few questions and then I'll leave you. Questions for homework. First question. Write down, just draw the diagram. A body moves from A to B with a speed 20 km per hour. Immediately returns back with a speed 30 km per hour. Okay. A to B, 20 km per hour, returns back with a speed 30 km per hour. You have to find average speed and average velocity. Next question. Show that magnitude by giving an example. Show means example. Show that magnitude of displacement is maybe equal or less than the distance traveled. Okay, by giving an example, you have to show that the magnitude of the displacement may be equal or less than the distance traveled. Okay, one more question. One last question. Okay, a body moves one third of a distance. This is suppose x distance with a speed of 20 km per hour. The second third of a distance, this is also x distance. Okay, we have divided the distance in three parts. All the three distances are equal. One third of a distance, it is traveling with 20 km per hour. The second third of a distance with 30 km per hour, and the last third of a distance, it is traveling with 40 km per hour. You have to find its average speed. Okay, one third of a distance, 20 km per hour. The next third of a distance, 30 km per hour. And the last third of a distance with a speed 40 km per hour. You have to find its average speed. Okay, write all the three questions. Written all the three questions. So you will solve these questions at home, and tomorrow I'll write the answer. Very easy, simple questions. Try to solve it. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt, anyone? So that I can end the meeting. I've already taken your attendance.
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay. Okay, then
Yeah.
enjoy the day. Have a nice day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay.